Okay, easy number 8. Let's look at the 9s. Ooh, lots of 9s. So these 2 rows are blocked, so that is the 9's in one of those 2. This blocks the column, that blocks that row. This one's going to be here or here, and these 2 columns are blocked, this row, so that one's there or there. So we didn't actually get to fill any in despite all those 9's, but we got 3 matched notes. So the 8's, these 2 columns are blocked, this row is blocked, so there's that 8. These 2 rows are blocked, so there's that 8. These 2 columns are blocked as well as this row, so there's that 8. 7's, a little bit. That row's blocked, this column's blocked, so this 7 is going to be one of those 2, meaning that that row is now blocked too. This means that that has to be, one of those has to be the 7. Since one of those also has to be the 9, that's a locked set. This 7 can't be in this row, so it's got to be one of these 2, and what that means is that it cannot be that one. So now we know that 7 is there. These 2 columns are taken, so this 7 has to be one of those 2. Now, this 7 blocks this column, so it's got to be one of those 2. I don't know which one of these 3 this 7 is, but since all 3 are in the bottom 2 rows, and these are in the bottom 2 rows, this has got to be in the top row. Another way to look at that is that was the only spot in that row, see, I'll undo it, that a 7 could fit, because there was only 2 spots left, and that one was a no. Okay, so anyway, to the 6's. These 2 columns are no's, so these are the possibles. This column's a no, these 2 rows are no's, so these are the possibles. These 2 columns are no's, so those are the possibles. And all 3 of those are possible. We again have the situation where these 2 possibilities and these possibilities all are in the top 2 rows, which means this has to be the bottom row. Again, we could look at it another way and say, let's just look at this column. No 6 here because it's already filled, Nope. Filled. Yes. Filled. No. And so that 6 has to be in that bottom row. That is all we can fill in, I think, for now. Oh, look, these 2 5's kill those columns. So this one ends that row, and that one makes that column not possible. So there's the 5 there. Now these 2 rows can't be used, so that one does that. These, along with this, cover all 3 of those squares, so this 5 has to be in one of those 2, and now that's a locked set with that 7. So those 2 squares are definitely the 5 and 7 and cannot possibly be anything else. These 2 columns are out because of those 2 5's. This row is out because of that 5, so this one has to be there or there. This one has to be one of those 3, but I'm not going to mark them down yet. The 4 is not telling us too much. It has to be in the bottom row here, which means it has to be in the middle row here, but not there. So only there is left. Now this one has to be in this side column. Other than that, not a whole lot from the 4. Let's see what the 3 has to say. This 3 is knocking out that, so this has to be in the bottom row of this one, which means that this one has to be in the middle row, and there's only 1 spot left in that middle row. Both of these columns come down. This is the only spot left for a 3 there. This one has to be in the top row, but it can be either one of those. Now I've got that matched markings there. The 2. Oh, there's only 2 spots left, and this one's already out, so that's the 1. Now these 2 columns are out. that row is out, so that's that one. So that means that this row is out, and this has to be in the top row, but it could be either of those. This has to be in this side column, but it could be the top or the bottom of it. Moving on to the ones, this knocks out that one, so it's got to be here. That now knocks out that one, so it's got to be there. This knocks out that knocks out that, so that one has to be there. This column's done, that column's done, so it's got to be here. It looks like we might have a matched set with the 9, so let's see if we do. There's 1s and 9s, so that means that this 5 cannot possibly be there. So I take it out, and now it's only got one spot left to be. That's where it's going to have to be. This one now has to be over there. All right, back to the ones, see if we can find anything else. We sure can. Look, these 2 rows are out, so that has to be there, and now these 2 columns are out. That has to be there, and now that has to be there. We got all the ones. Go back to the 9s. That helped define that this 9 has to be there, this one here, and this one here. And to the 7s we go. Only place left has to be there. Only place left has to be there. This one could be either of those, but not that. And this one has to be there. Getting down to it. Let's see, there's still, both of these are possibilities for the 6 in that square and all the other squares. So we don't have any more knowledge about 6s, but there's the 5s. Of all the 3 squares left, those 2 are blocked out, so it's got to be that. And now that one has to be that. The 4s, it's the only one left. That knocks out both of those, forcing that one. That now knocks out that, forcing that one. That knocks out both of those, forcing this one. That is knocked out by that. This is knocked out by that, so it has to be there. And there we go. To the 3s. Okay, only 2 options, and that one can't be. So there's the yes, and there's the yes, because that's clearly a no. The 2s, it's the only one left, gotta be. There's only 2 possibilities, can't be that one, gotta be that. Only one left, there we go. Now to the 7s, the only one left, which knocked out that, and that one. And the 6s to fill in the puzzle.